Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
all the awful things Cube did to I-DLE.
Revenue I-DLE generates for Cube Entertainment, one would expect the company to cater to their every need. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. Cube has repeatedly shown a lack of respect for the group.
Yeah, because I think I-DLE is the biggest Cube's group.
And it looks like the members finally had enough. The mistreatment against the girls started when they hadn't even debuted yet. Yuki recently appeared on Big Bang's Daesung's Daily Show and talked about her time as a trainee, and it sounded brutal. The conversation started when Yuki mentioned that her appetite had severely decreased after she joined the company just because of how often she was put on a diet back then. She revealed trainees would have to weigh themselves at the company every Saturday, which would have Yuki experiencing indigestion. Daesung appeared shocked at this, and his reaction surprised Yuki, especially since many who trained under YG mentioned that they had to weigh themselves daily. Daesung admitted it seemed like female trainees face stricter monitoring.
That's a little fucked up. I don't know. I understand you have to be in shape, but I don't know if like weighing weekly is like the way to maintain shape. I think, there's other ways to do it. Like if you see one person is getting out of shape, then you like, okay, we need to do something about it. But if you already in shape, why there still needs to be like a continuous thing,
Sharing how Park Bom from 21 would have to hide just to eat bread. Yuki confirmed that this was common practice among female idols, who often had to eat in secret and hide in dressing rooms just to take a bite. Daesung then went on to ask what was the most effective way of losing weight, which had Yuki revealing one particularly cruel method forced on the girls by Cube. She shared that after the Chuseok holiday, when everyone naturally gained a bit of weight from spending time with family, the company would print out a list of their weights and put it in front of the office for everyone, including the senior artists at the company, to see as a form of punishment. The trainees had to see the list every day, which pushed them to shed the extra weight so that they wouldn't feel embarrassed. Yuki even admitted that her dieting got so extreme she dropped 5 kilograms in just 3 days. She did this by eating almost nothing, which was shocking to say the least, considering these were mostly young girls having their weights public.
Yeah, that's a little extreme. I don't like it. I don't know. I get you have to be in shape. I'm not debating that, but I just don't feel that's the way to do it. I don't know.
Displayed by the company likely took a toll on their mental health. Another thing that Yuki revealed in Daesung's show was that the group was going to be named something entirely different. According to Yuki, Cube was thinking of naming them Black Cube, Purple Rose, Black Red, Black Kiss, or anything with colors in them, which had them come up with the name Any Color. Not only that, but the members were all supposed to represent a color through their stage names. Yuki revealed that hers was going to be Blue Sky, Shuhwa's White Butterfly, Minnie's Pink Mouse, while Soyeon and Miyeon had the goofiest ones, as Cube wanted them to present themselves as Yellowfish and Green Alligator or Tuna respectively. Ultimately, Cube decided to name the group I-DLE, but their meaning behind the name of the group was lackluster and even uninspired. Soyeon revealed that the company wanted to connect the Korean meaning of idol, which refers to children, with the English meaning of idle, which implies doing nothing, aiming for a theme around not being bored. However, Soyeon wasn't satisfied with the original meaning and decided to create her own, which arguably made more sense. In fact, we can conclude that if it wasn't for Soyeon and her creative input on the group's music as well as everything else, the group wouldn't be the powerhouse that it is today. If we're being completely candid though, if not for Soyeon, the group might never have debuted.
I don't know, though, knowing all this shit now, I really hope they leave the Cube label. Because we already watched, are they gonna leave? Like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But I didn't know none of this, but no, I hope they leave them.
In the first place. In an early interview, Soyeon shared that she didn't initially want to become the main songwriter of the group. However, when their debut kept getting delayed due to them not having a title track, she decided to take matters into her own hands and put her skills to work. No matter how much she worked to make sure that the girls were going to debut, it was obvious that Cube wasn't going to make any effort. Whether they were incompetent or just didn't have any faith in their success, Soyeon had to do everything herself. She made the group's debut song Latata using pirated software, which she later got a lot of flack for because the company didn't give her the necessary resources for her to do her work properly. She was also involved in the designing of the album and even the logo of the group. The girls also choreographed an intro and dance break for the Latata stages 1 week before they were set to hit the stage.
That's so interesting because it seems like the company doesn't want to set them up to win, but make it as hard as possible to win.
That you do have a point. That sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. It's like they don't.
Obviously, she needs help. She needs resources.
Yeah, they don't give resources. So like, why even start a group if you're not gonna provide them with the resources? I don't understand that. It's one thing if the group was already like big, like not the big, but they've been established and they're kind of just not making the revenue. That's one thing. Like, okay, then I get it. Okay, we can't give you any more resources because you're not producing it, as well as we thought you would. But if they're just starting out and that's they're trying to, then you kind of have to. I don't know. This just everything sounds really fucked up.
Speculated that Cube was on the brink of bankruptcy at the time, which could explain the low-budget teasers for the debut. The photos of the members standing against a wall with a plastic bag taped to it, and another photo shoot took place in a dingy alley.
I see there used to be 6 members, 1 left, so maybe that's why 1 left, because they said, fuck this shit.
And only featured a shabby couch and a trash container. The album only sold 260 copies at the time, which was shockingly low for a group coming from a company that housed groups like 4 Minute and Beast. But it was just the start for Soyeon and the girls. Since then, she's been in charge of basically everything, creating concepts for every comeback, presenting detailed pitches to Cube, including ideas for everything from hairstyles to nail designs. She handles much of the songwriting, producing, composing, arranging, and sometimes even oversees music video filming, gives input for the styling and album packaging. The other members are also pretty involved in the creative process, and while it's great, it's strange seeing the company be so minimally incorporated. Whenever the company gets involved, though, things tend to go wrong, proving that Soyeon should remain the creative force behind it all. For example, they thought that Soyeon shouldn't name her song Nude because it was too risky and inappropriate, but this just convinced her that the title was the right choice, and well, she was correct. This can also be seen in the I Sway era. When Soyeon appeared on Dex's fridge, she explained, "I really managed every single thing."
It wasn't even Nude, it was NXDE. Like, that's not Nude.
This makes me feel so sad.
Yeah, this is this.
Because I really like their music. But if it has to come like this, I don't want it.
Yeah, no, I don't like none of this either.
Thing. All the features before the song, marketing, planning photos, what to wear, and everything. However, she decided to take the backseat for once and entrust the work to Cube when it came to everything related to this era. She only wrote the title track Klaxon, as she believed that she should entrust her work to others and not take all the burden herself. However, fans noticed her lack of involvement immediately. According to them, the teasers, the concept pictures, and even the music video had a lower quality than we're used to seeing when Soyeon is fully involved in the process. A fan tweeted, "Even from the very first Klaxon teaser, every fan knew that it wasn't Soyeon's work because she holds herself to a much higher standard than Cube's bare minimum nonsense."
To me, the thing about Klaxon is just the weird name, Klaxon. Nobody uses Klaxon. Like, we even had to look it up what Klaxon means. Apparently it's a word in English, like a horn, but I've never heard it used in my life. I think somebody in the label should have told them, like...
They should just call it beep.
Yeah, like beep, horn, some like klaxon. Nobody uses that word.
So the one time that Soyeon decides to give herself a break after doing so much work for other groups and other artists as well, Cube puts as little effort as possible into the teasers and everything else. It also seems like the company practically gives up on the group whenever there's hard times. First, it was...
Right, so as you said, like, they just want them to fail, then why start a group?
For their debut, when a company with as many talented idols and producers as them were struggling to find a producer for the group's debut song. Second, it was right before the tomboy era. Arguably, Idol's worst time was when Soojin was accused of mistreatment and was forced to leave the group and the company despite her innocence. Since she was one of the most popular members and one of the main stand attractors of the group,
so Soojin, she's a solo artist now. I think we may have, because I know the name, I recognize the name, I've seen it. So she's pretty big. Soojin. I recognize the name.
He thought that this was going to be the end of Idol as we know them, but then they came back with Tomboy and proved everyone wrong. From then on, Soyeon took on the role of executive producer for the group. Fans believe this shift happened because the company had lost faith in them, thinking they would never go back to their glory days pre-scandal. It's also thought that Soyeon saw this and decided to take control as she always does, which is why she ended up with the executive producer role. One of the biggest issues that the girls have had with the company is the way they overwork them to the bone. The members are known to be very hardworking themselves, but it's obvious that Cube is trying to milk them until their contracts are over. They released Tomboy in early 2022, when on the Just Me...
I don't think they're gonna go back. I don't see what's the reason.
Yeah, I don't...
What would be the reason?
Yeah, there's other label,
or they can create their
just
own.
go independent, yes. Like, I mean, I know money is an issue if you go independent, but...
But they have worked with very little already.
Yeah, and they have fans too. They can fundraise with the fans. They have like what? I think like 6 to 8 million subscribers in that range. I don't remember exactly right now, but they have a lot of subscribers. They're
the I-DLE World Tour in June and released Nude in October. After having their comeback with Queen Card back in May of 2023, I-DLE spent 3 weeks performing on music shows and attending university events, getting barely any sleep. Then they began their global tour Am Free Thai in Seoul on June 18th with a 2-day concert. By July, they were in Taiwan, Thailand, and Hong Kong, and their tour continued through North America and Europe in August and September, wrapping up with shows in Japan, Macau, and Singapore in late September and October. Shortly before the tour wrapped up, they also released their first English mini-album, Heat, which gave them no time to rest. Fans hoped that Cube would make the girls take a break after the tour, but it seems like they had other plans. After the tour, the group participated in Mama 2023 on November 28th, and then joined the Jingle Bell Tour and performed multiple shows throughout December. They quickly returned to
them too in those events, but I don't want to like this.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? We always say, oh, where they've been. Well, I guess we don't know exactly what they're going through behind the scenes, but shit is ridiculous.
Korea for year-end performances, including Gayo Daejeon on December 25th and Gayo Daejeon on the 31st. 2024 hasn't been any easier on them as they released and promoted their second full album, Two, and then I Sway, and now embarked in yet another tour titled I-DLE, featuring concerts in Asia, the US, and Australia, which is supposed to end in November. The members have also been busy with their own solo stuff, with Yuki being one of the busiest as she has about 20 different schedules lined up just this month. Given their intense schedule, it's not surprising that the members frequently fell ill and had to miss events to take care of their health. Cube's recent mistake...
Yeah, I think we saw one of them get ill in one of the performances. I think it was just the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was them.
Involved Soyeon, who had to issue her own statement to clarify the situation due to the company's incompetence. The whole thing started when Soyeon got on stage at I-DLE's I-DLE tour for the performance of her song Is This Bad B Number. The performance was amazing, as one would expect from Soyeon, but she had added a verse in the song that caused a lot of trouble for everyone involved. She rapped "Contract ends November, who's to stop me? I don't have to tiptoe." This sparked confusion because it seemed like when the contract would eventually come to an end, the members of I-DLE were going to renew with the company, but now it sounded like Soyeon, and maybe the others as well, were eager to leave. Cube quickly responded with a statement saying the lyrics were just part of the performance and that all I-DLE members plan to renew their contracts next year. However, media reports soon claimed that Cube was upset with Soyeon's actions, which changed things up. The report said that the company was worried about inaccurate reports damaging them because Soyeon's actions hadn't been discussed with them beforehand. Fans felt this response was overly dramatic and that Cube's reaction only made things worse. The idea that Soyeon didn't inform them also seemed off since the lyrics were displayed behind her during the performance, so the company should have known what she was going to say. Soyeon wasn't having any of it though.
The company should have known, but the company is clearly out of touch, so they don't really care, it seems like. So that's why they didn't know.
And responded with a statement of her own on August 6th. She started by emphasizing that her goal is to make people happy and then to make her team happy. She admitted that her work might sometimes be provocative or...
And never in herself. She don't mention herself happy. Her self happy has to come first, or no one else can be happy.
Yep.
Received mixed reactions, but insisted she never lied or intended to harm anyone. Soyeon clarified that the performance in question was honest and she didn't hide anything from the company. Despite the issues with Cube over the years and misleading media reports, she said she holds no grudge and hopes the situation would lead to mutual growth. To address the fallout, Cube released another statement claiming previous reports about Soyeon's performance were false, and this was their first official response. They apologized for any confusion caused by personal opinions being mistaken for their official stance and confirmed they were aware of the song's lyrics. They also said renewal talks were in progress, but this response raised more questions than answers. Many were rightfully wondering who was the person who was making statements on behalf of Cube before the company officially decided on its position. Why would they risk the company's relationship with their biggest moneymaker over a personal opinion? It was also questioned why Cube took so long to clarify things, especially since they put Soyeon in an unfavorable position. This was especially confusing since the media reached out to them and they still took too long to comment. Even though Soyeon hasn't responded to that statement, it looks like the relationship between her and Cube has been ruined beyond repair. It's being reported that Soyeon is looking to sign with other companies such as Zico's KOZ Entertainment. It's obvious that she isn't going to leave the group, but maybe she's looking to take her solo career and talents into another company who can appreciate her more and not create trouble for her after everything she has done for them. If they're doing this to Soyeon, who's to say that the other members won't also be disrespected by them?
That's so sad.
Cookie lit. if you ever watch this, you need to add some sort of conclusion to your videos. You can't just stop the video
Yeah.
right and finish a sentence cut. I was expecting like some sort of wrap up or something, right? She's talking,
Well, pretty
cut.
much the wrap up
Done.
is that if they're doing this to her, the others. What about the others?
No,
What's the
but like
wrap-up?
sounds like, oh yeah, so like guys, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Or something like that, right? Like some sort of wrap up. Damn, it's just gonna end. I was not expecting the end. Okay. But yeah, that's real fucked up with it. I don't know. That's the thing, kind of. It doesn't really sound like I-DLE wants to leave like as a group though. Sounds like as individuals they might leave, but as a group,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I hope, based on this, I hope they don't stay. But what do you guys think?
Oh, you.
I'm not peculiar.
Guys, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.